Many white women care deeply about racial justice, but like me, we grew up in nearly all white communities and never learned how to relate across difference in ways that build trust. Our good intentions aren't enough. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to start doing better today. Hi, I'm Karen Fleshman. I'm a white woman named Karen, and I'm an anti-racism educator. I've spent years learning from, working with, and being held accountable by Black women and other women of color. And if you're watching this, it's probably because you are a white woman who works with or lives alongside Black women and women of color. You feel there's some kind of gap between you, and you've tried to reach out once or twice, but it hasn't gone well. So now you just retreat and avoid interacting. You want to close the gap, build trust, and show up differently, but you don't always know how. You're not alone. Most of us weren't taught this. Today, I'm going to show you how to relate across difference with presence, humility, and integrity. And at the end, I'll share a resource that can help you further develop these skills as you practice them every day. We weren't raised with models of interracial sisterhood. Many, if not most, women of color don't trust white women, and that's why they keep their distance. They've been dealing with untrustworthy white women their entire lives. Many, if not most, white women grew up in nearly all white environments. We never saw our parents relate across difference with people of color, and we absorbed a culture that taught us that we are normal and people of color are other. Now many of us live and work in more diverse communities. We want to build trust with our neighbors, parents at our kids' school, our coworkers, but when we try to reach out, it often doesn't go so well. We freeze, we overthink, we say the wrong thing, then we feel guilt and shame and feel defensive, we retreat, and we don't try again. Even when it's unintentional, our impact is real. Recognizing and changing these patterns of behavior isn't about shame. It's about skill building. It's about understanding the underlying dynamics when people of color and white people interact, so you know what to do differently to build trust instead of create further distance. I'm living proof. You can grow up in a sundown town, intentionally change yourself in community, and build real relationships rooted in trust across difference. And it's on us, white women, to change our beliefs and behaviors to bridge the divide. Black women, women of color are generally not going to initiate relationships with us. Instead, they're going to observe us to determine whether or not we are trustworthy. This video is about what behaviors to demonstrate you are trustworthy. When white women interact with women of color, there's a lot of energy because of the power differential. Whether white women are aware of it or not, or whether we want it or not, we are walking into the room with generations of racial hierarchy, social conditioning, and unearned advantages. Meanwhile, the woman of color we're interacting with is carrying the impact of generations of harm, exclusion, and dismissal, and her own lived experience of navigating white women daily. So when we step into that moment together, the room is not neutral. We might feel at ease while she's determining whether or not we're safe. We might assume connection while she's assessing, do we see her clearly? We might believe we're being warm or friendly while she feels the weight of the history and the space between us. And because we're not taught to feel that energy, we can misread what's happening. We can come in too fast, too familiar, too eager to prove we're a good one. Or we shrink, overthink, or freeze because we're afraid of doing the wrong thing. None of this makes us bad people. It means we haven't learned the skills to navigate these moments with awareness. The good news, when we understand this energy, we can work with it. We can show up and ground ourselves and practice respect and dignity in interracial interactions. We can be more humble and willing to learn and more present and just more our real selves. And that immediately shifts the interaction. It's not about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about learning how to relate across difference as equals instead of reenacting old patterns. Now that we've gone over the underlying dynamics in interracial interactions, let's shift our focus to what to do differently. A simple way to begin: before entering into an interaction, slow down. Take a deep breath. Pause. Tell yourself, I'm here to connect, not to perform. I'm here to listen, not prove. This alone will shift your energy. Then, when you first meet her, learn her name and learn how to pronounce it correctly. Don't say, "That's so exotic." Listen more than you talk. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Be authentically yourself, not a performance. Respect her pace of connection and don't assume instant closeness or belonging. Show up with humility, respect, and grounded warmth. And remember, trust is earned, not assumed. Now, let's talk about how to receive feedback without collapsing. One of the biggest trust breakers for white women is what we do when a woman of color shares with us that we've caused harm. We freeze, we apologize profusely, and then we disappear. But this puts the burden back on the person who was harmed. Here's how to receive feedback with integrity. First, pause, breathe, then say, "Thank you for telling me." Apologize once, calmly, naming the harm that you caused and taking responsibility for it. Then stay in relationship and get back in touch with evidence of changed behavior. This is how trust is built, not broken. Becoming more trustworthy isn't a one-time event. It's daily, intentional work. It looks like grounding your nervous system, minding your energy and the amount of space you take up, reflecting on your patterns and changing them, not expecting her to adapt to you. Taking responsibility for your impact and acting in alignment with your values, even when it's uncomfortable. Growth comes from small, steady, embodied action. If this resonates, if you've struggled with these dynamics, I've created something to help you begin this journey with clarity and confidence. The Trust Starting Toolkit for White Women. It includes an ebook with guidance on how to interact across difference and how to repair when you cause harm. It also includes a video training on how to make a solid first impression when interacting across difference for the first time, and bonus audio tracks that you can listen to with somatic practices to help you ground yourself before interacting across difference. The link to it is below, and I welcome your feedback. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring enough to take time to learn. We weren't taught these skills, but we can learn them, and we can teach them to our kids so they can be full participants in multiracial democracy. Each time we change our behavior, we make room for real connection, real sisterhood, and that's what's going to benefit everyone. I hope to continue walking this journey with you.